The Vallecas case, Spain's most documented possession, a Ouija board session at a Madrid high school, opened something that authorities would document in official government reports. Vallecas sprawls across the southeastern reaches of Madrid, a working-class neighborhood where apartment blocks rise in orderly rows and ordinary families navigate ordinary lives. In November 1990, nothing about the district suggests it will soon produce one of the most rigorously documented paranormal cases in modern European history. Inside a high school classroom, 18-year-old Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro sits with friends, their fingers resting lightly on a planchette as it glides across an Ouija board. They ask questions into the silence. They wait for answers from whatever might be listening. A teacher discovers them. The session ends abruptly. The teacher confiscates the board and breaks it in half, severing the session while the communication remains open. Within days, Estefania begins experiencing seizures. Her body convulses without warning. She loses consciousness repeatedly, collapsing in school hallways and at home. Her parents rush her to hospitals across Madrid. Medical teams conduct examinations. They find nothing organically wrong. No tumor, no infection, no neurological disorder that explains the severity or frequency of her symptoms. The seizures continue. During episodes, witnesses report that Estefania speaks in voices that do not sound like her own. Her personality shifts. Her eyes change. The girl her family knows disappears during these moments, replaced by something they do not recognize. Doctors admit her for observation. She undergoes batteries of tests. Every result returns within normal parameters. The medical establishment offers no diagnosis that accounts for her progressive deterioration. Months pass. Estefania's condition worsens steadily. The seizures increase in frequency and intensity. She loses weight. Her strength fades. In June 1991, less than a year after the interrupted Ouija board session, Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro passes away. She is 19 years old. The official cause of death is listed as undetermined. Her family buries her. They grieve. They attempt to move forward with their shattered lives. Then the apartment begins to change. Objects move when no one is near them. The family enters rooms to find furniture displaced, items relocated to places no one remembers moving them. Photographs of Estefania appear damaged. Frames crack. Glass shatters from the inside. The images themselves show tears and scratches that no one can account for. Dark shapes manifest in doorways and hallways. Multiple family members report seeing a tall, dark figure that appears solid but moves in ways that defy physical explanation. The presence feels oppressive. The air in the apartment grows heavy. Estefania's younger sister experiences the phenomena most intensely. She sees the dark figure repeatedly. She feels watched. The apartment that was once home becomes a place of dread. The Gutierrez Lazaro family makes a decision that will transform their private tragedy into a matter of public record. They contact the police, not a priest, not a paranormal investigator. The police. Officers from the National Police Corps respond to calls from the apartment. They arrive expecting domestic disturbance or mental health crisis. What they encounter falls outside the parameters of their training. Officers witness phenomena they cannot explain within any framework their professional experience provides. They file reports. The language in these reports remains careful, factual, stripped of sensationalism. The officers describe what they observe with the precision required of testimony that may be scrutinized in court. Objects move without physical contact. Sounds emanate from empty rooms. The oppressive atmosphere affects the responding officers themselves. Some refuse to return to the apartment after their initial visit. The supervisor overseeing these reports takes an extraordinary step. He requests a formal judicial investigation. The case reaches Judge José María Gómez Bermúdez, a magistrate with a reputation for measured judgment and adherence to evidentiary standards. Judge Bermúdez agrees to investigate. He visits the Gutierrez Lazaro apartment personally, accompanied by multiple police officers. What happens during this visit produces documentation that will become central to the case's historical significance. Judge Bermudez and the accompanying officers witness phenomena that they officially record. An image of the Virgin Mary, mounted on the wall, rotates to an inverted position while observers watch. No vibration or physical force accounts for the movement. Objects shift location. A wardrobe door opens and slams with considerable force when no person stands near it. One officer reports being struck by a flying object. The judge observes it all. He files an official report with the court. This documentation matters because of its source. These are not accounts from believers seeking validation. They are not testimonies collected by paranormal researchers with pre-existing convictions about supernatural phenomena. They are official government documents produced by law enforcement professionals and a sitting judge fulfilling their institutional obligations. The reports follow standard formats. They use standard language. They describe events that are anything but standard. Judge Bermudez's report, combined with the multiple police reports filed by responding officers, constitutes one of the only official government documents in the world that formally records witnessed paranormal activity. The judge does not attempt to explain what he observes through supernatural interpretation. He simply records what happens in his presence. The restraint of the documentation amplifies its impact. These are professionals trained in skepticism, in demanding physical evidence, in eliminating alternative explanations before accepting extraordinary claims. They cannot eliminate the alternative explanations because no alternative explanations fit what they witness. The Catholic Church becomes involved. Clergy visit the apartment. They assess the spiritual condition of the space. What they find leads them to conduct blessings and eventually undertake formal spiritual intervention. The specific rituals performed remain largely undisclosed, but the Church's willingness to engage at this level indicates that ecclesiastical authorities consider the case serious enough to warrant significant religious response. The danger in the Vallecas case operates on multiple dimensions. Estefania herself has already lost her life under circumstances that medical science cannot adequately explain. A healthy 18-year-old girl experiences sudden onset of severe symptoms, progressive deterioration, and passes away within months. No diagnosis, no treatment, no explanation that satisfies medical standards for causation. Her passing does not end the phenomena. Instead, whatever began with the interrupted Ouija board session continues in the family apartment. The presence intensifies after her passing, as if her absence removes a barrier rather than resolving the situation. Family members remaining in the apartment experience escalating psychological and spiritual distress. The younger sister, still a minor, bears particular exposure to the phenomena. The dark figure appears to her repeatedly. She cannot escape it within the confines of her own home. Police officers entering the space feel physical effects. The atmosphere presses down on them. Some experience nausea. Others report overwhelming sensations of being watched, of hostile attention focused on them from sources they cannot locate or identify. The apartment itself becomes contested territory. What should be a place of safety and family life transforms into a location that trained professionals hesitate to enter. The judicial investigation documents this transformation with bureaucratic precision. Each incident receives a report. Each witness provides testimony. The accumulation of official documentation builds a case file that reads like no other in the Spanish legal system. The Gutierrez Lazaro family eventually leaves the apartment. Whether they are driven out by the phenomena or choose to leave as part of a strategy for spiritual protection remains unclear. The clergy's intervention, combined with the family's departure, appears to mark the end of the most intense phase of activity. Whether the entity responsible for the phenomena departs, becomes dormant, or simply loses interest when the family leaves cannot be definitively established. What is established is that the official investigation concludes, the reports are filed, the case is sealed. For years, the Vallecas case exists in official files but remains largely unknown outside Spain. Then the documents become public. Researchers access the police reports and the judge's testimony. The case spreads through the Spanish paranormal community and eventually reaches international attention. In 2017, Spanish director Paco Plaza releases Veronica, a Netflix film based on the case. The film dramatizes the events, taking creative liberties with timeline and detail, but its foundation rests on the documented facts. A teenage girl, an Ouija board, an unexplained passing, and phenomena witnessed by police and a judge. The legacy of the Vallecas case lies in its documentation. Paranormal research typically relies on eyewitness testimony from individuals who may have various motivations for reporting extraordinary experiences. Skeptics reasonably point out that such testimony lacks the rigor of scientific or legal evidence. The Vallecas case provides something different. It provides official government documents produced by law enforcement and judicial authorities who witnessed phenomena they could not explain within rational frameworks. These professionals had no incentive to fabricate or embellish. Their careers and reputations depended on accuracy and credibility. Yet they filed reports acknowledging that they observed events that defied conventional explanation. Judge Jose Maria Gomez Bermudez's willingness to investigate personally and to file an official report gives the case legal standing that purely anecdotal paranormal accounts do not possess. His testimony exists in court records. The police reports exist in official files. These documents can be examined, verified, and scrutinized by skeptics and believers alike. They do not prove supernatural causation by any scientific standard, but they do prove that credible witnesses with professional standing observed phenomena they considered sufficiently extraordinary to document through official channels. The Vallecas case raises questions that extend beyond the specific events in one Madrid apartment. It asks what happens when the unexplained intrudes into institutional spaces designed to operate on evidence and rational process. It asks what authorities do when witnesses they must take seriously report phenomena that should not exist. It demonstrates that even in the modern era, with scientific knowledge and technological capability far beyond previous generations, events occur that resist explanation within materialist frameworks. Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro rests in a cemetery in Madrid. Her family has never publicly detailed what they experienced after her passing, beyond what appears in official reports. The apartment in Vallecas presumably houses other residents now, people who may or may not know its history. The Ouija board that allegedly initiated the sequence of events was destroyed by the teacher who confiscated it. The entity, if entity it was, remains unidentified and unexplained. What remains undeniable is the documentation. The reports exist. The judge's testimony exists. The police accounts exist. These are not folklore. They are not urban legend embellished through retelling. They are official government records that acknowledge extraordinary phenomena witnessed by trained professionals. This documentation places the Vallecas case among the most compelling and rigorously recorded paranormal cases in modern European history. If you found this case compelling, subscribe to Vanishing Roads for more documented paranormal investigations from around the world. This story was created with AI assistance based on documented case files. All events reference real investigations and reported incidents.